This week, we got something special. It's called Drew's Mailbag, right here. Point right here. This works, I think. We're going to be answering questions that I took from people, my trusted sources, this week. But next week, it's going to be, or next time, it's going to be out there. Anybody can ask questions. So welcome to the Jennifer Gale Real Estate Team YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Link in the description. Comment. Hashtag Drew's Mailbag. Is that right, Rachel? Yeah. All the lingo. It's all right there. Crack my Coke. So just to preface this, I don't know what these questions are. So considering who they came from, this could be interesting. So let's just get right at it. Number one. So these are just like, what I did is I reached out and I said, ask me any real estate question or anything you'd like to ask me, I guess, as a real estate agent, and we'll just see where this goes. So bear with me. Anybody who knows me, this could go in multiple directions. Number one, why is everything so expensive right now? So right off the bat, we're asking a question that I can barely answer. My best guess is, this is actually a question for Chris from our team, but I'll do my best. It really started getting expensive in the late teens, and obviously during COVID, I think lending rates were just super low, and it was so cheap to borrow money. We had an influx of people from GTA area, Kitchener-Waterloo, Guelph, GTA. They came, they were selling for a lot more money than they could buy here, and they were just throwing cash at houses. Prices exploded. I think over a period of time, only 3 or 4 years, prices almost doubled in some houses. So that's my best guess for that answer. Okay, there you go. One in. It's good. How many houses have I sold in 2026? I don't know. I actually don't keep track of that stuff. I just stick to the process. I'm not a, counter of, I say I have goals, but they're more just process goals, not keeping count goals. I don't want that to ever affect how I do things. So if I'm short of my goal, I'm not going to do a bunch of crazy things that might not be within my personality to do to get to that goal. So I don't know. There you go. I just like that answer. I don't know. My home is decorated in my personal style. Should I make it more universal to sell? Now, personal style, I will not include like my carpet's old, my counters and my cabinets are old, and everything's like out of date and ruined. That's not a personal style I'm counting here. I'm gonna say that's like I have some kitschy art around, and I've maybe painted my kitchen cabinets green, and I've got a whole bunch of kind of odd decor things in paint colors. That's what I'm going to interpret that question to be. And yes, that will make it harder to sell. I would probably think about going more neutral if you're going to sell. If you're not going to sell, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. But if you're going to sell, appealing to the masses, 100% the best way to go. Should I renovate my house before selling? No. You should tune it up. Like if you've got, again, paint colors that could be easily neutralized, or if you've got big dog gouges out of your baseboard and pea stained carpet from your animals, yes. Like if that's a renovation in your mind, do that. But if somebody's going to say, do your kitchen, do your bathrooms, do your basement right before you sell, no, not going to get that money back. Not dollar for dollar. If you don't get dollar for dollar back, you don't do it. Simple as that. If it's mechanical, Still probably no. Like if you spend $25,000 on windows, you're not going to get $25,000 more for your house, most likely. You want to do that kind of stuff in stages and then kind of live in it and enjoy it and amortize it over 10, 15 years, then you'll be out okay. I don't even know who this is from, but I can only imagine. Don't real estate agents just play golf all day? So I have a golf background, and I don't. I actually don't play all that much. I know people that play way more than me. I do know when I was still playing good golf, my sales weren't great. And as my sales grew, my golf game sucked. So there's my correlation. No, we don't just play golf all day. I don't even want to play golf all day. I know some would. I don't like golf as much as people think I do, but I don't. I've done golf, been there, done that. Don't love it as much anymore. Rachel's laughing. That's another good one. All right. We did renovations without permits. Will that make it harder to sell in the future? Every agent's best dream right here. You go into a listing appointment and I've got all these things done and they're like, actually, yeah, we didn't get permits done on any of them. Is that a problem? Maybe not. I know title insurance is something buyers get from lawyers that will alleviate some of those problems. But like if you're stacking non-permit after non-permit after non-permit, not the best case scenario. I don't think that's really what you want to do. I'm not like a big knower of all permitty things required. So I know a lot of people don't want to open a can of worms either. So like the more you dig, the more you might have problems with the city. So I'm not saying don't go get permits. Get permits where it's required. But yeah, that's a tough question because it can be expensive for a new buyer if you go into a house that's like, it looks like I did it. I'm not like a reno guy, so whatever. Okay. How many different markets have I sold homes in? I started in 2006. Woodstock was just coming out of that post-Toyota announcement phase, so things were okay. Then 2008, 2009 winter, the market went for a dump until, it was really bad for like 2 years. Then it kind of became pretty steady for, I'm going to say 5 years or so. It was pretty normal. Like days on market would be, 30 to 70. You got a listing. Saw a lot of condition of sales because sale was never guaranteed back then. Then we noticed kind of in the late teens, borrowing costs became less, like I mentioned earlier in the first question. We started seeing like more people from out of town. I started dealing with more out of town agents and they seemed to have more money and less conditions. And that just kind of snowballed into, 2016 to 2018 was pretty good. Like we hadn't seen that before in Woodstock at least. Then it was okay in the late teens, and then COVID hit and it went absolutely berserk. So I've had kind of normal, I've had better than normal, I've had fire, and right now we're a little sleepier, but right now is really not that much different than balanced, which was in the early teens. So I'd say, I don't know, I think I've seen them all. We've been told this is one of the worst markets in a long time, but I feel like GG is pretty good. We're pretty insulated from that. We do pretty good. So we always seem to be busy. I'm getting my listings shown, so I don't really find it that bad. So I've had a couple really, really good ones and probably a couple sleepier than normal ones. So a pretty patient guy, no big deal. Bonus, will Drew do a donut taste test? I don't know if you guys all caught my eggnog taste test at Christmas with Pam. My physique obviously points to the fact that I may like a donut or two. I don't want to make it a habit. I'm trying to lose some weight, so maybe we'll chronicle that. But I mean, if somebody had a gun in my head and I had to do a donut taste test or maybe a chocolate taste test, like, I'm game for that. So if you want to see me do a donut taste, like, I do have strong opinions on donuts. I will admit that. People downstairs at the office, I will argue to the death on who has the best donuts in town. If you want to know, comment. We need comments. So I will answer that question. Who has the best donuts in town? You'd be surprised. It's not some foo-foo bakery. Trust me. As far as chocolate goes, again, I have strong opinions. You know, I have not a lot of vices. I don't drink beer. I don't smoke, but I like chocolate. I like donuts. But I don't want to make it a habit. So that wraps up our first Drew's Mailbag. It was kind of short. It was kind of last minute-ish, but we want to make this kind of regular. So we want your questions to me. Hashtag what, Rachel?
Drew's Mailbag.
Drew's Mailbag. Hashtag Drew's Mailbag. I don't know what that means, but email me or the team, or hashtag leave a comment, hashtag Drew's Mailbag, and we will do this again, because actually I think this could actually gain some momentum. You can make them funny. If they're too smart-assy, I will have a smart-ass answer for you. If anybody knows me, I'm all game for that. So let's roll with this one, and until next time, bye.